Hey guys, it's so good to see you back here on my Crafter's Companion YouTube channel for the very first tutorial after the aftermath of our 2023 Advent Calendar. It's so good to see so many of you tuning in over the 24 days. It was incredible. I cannot thank you enough. The amount of views. It was over 47,000 combined views when it comes to door number 1 to door number 24 of our Advent Calendar. So I am so glad that you loved them. I'm so glad you enjoyed them. I absolutely love doing them. I may have just been a little bit stressed at times trying to fit them all in. I had, method within the madness where I had planned on doing them a couple of months prior, but life gets in the way, and then it pretty much was at kind of like deadlock when it comes to filming them and getting them out for the right day. But anyway, we've done it. It was worth it. It was fantastic, and I am, believe it or not, looking forward to doing it again next year. Can you believe it? Next year we are well, it all depends on when you're watching this video. This video is going out on New Year's Eve. I am filming this on the actual 29th of December, so we've got a couple of days until our new year starts, 2024. But it is nice to see you back here again after the Advent Calendar videos, and this one I thought we're going to have a play. Now I've got nothing planned, I've got nothing prepped, I've got an idea in my head, and this is about using, I've got scraps of white multi-purpose cardstock, I have got scraps of black cardstock, and I'm going to use a stencil. I'm going to use the Wild at Heart stencil because here in the UK on the 31st of, the day that you're going to be seeing this, the 31st, I'm on Hobby Maker. I've got the Wild at Heart collection. I thought, right, how about using one of the elements, the stencils, and maybe out with the Wild at Heart theme. So we're going to keep it simple. We're going to strip it right back, quick, elegant, but we're going to do a little bit of inking as well. I might use our swash dies. I might use our swash stamps. I'll use one or the other. And then maybe some of these foliage leaves. These are from a early on when it comes to our flower forming range, so we're going to be using them ones. So that's what I'm going to be using. Oh, let's just go back. There we go, we got there in the end. Let's go back, strip it right back to the very beginning, and just do really simple. Nice way to be using the scraps, of course, but let's first of all, I need to think of some colours. So I'm thinking, when it comes to the actual stencil, I'm thinking of going with, that could be leopard print, or it could be, of course, waves of the sea, or we might just keep it within the light, the foliage sort of style and feel. So I am thinking, if we do go with that one, so much so I've not even used them for my set yet. That just goes to show how I've not got anything planned or prepped with this one. So if we go in with, that one, I'm not going to use the aperture stencils that you get with them, because they are just to give you a different kind of aspect when it comes to the actual stencils. I'm not going to use those ones. So let's set that one out of the way for now. So we're going to go in with that one. So that lets you see, if I put a little bit of black underneath there, that lets you see the one that we're going to be going with and the one that we're going to be using. So that's that. What I then need to do is think of colours. So water reactive or duet? You know, my water reactive is my favourite. It's my all-time go-to. But I have been loving the water reactive, the duet as of late. So if I look in front, if we get, what about Spring Bud and Awakening Forest? So if we use those ones, Spring Bud and Awakening Forest. Yep. And let's get my white multi-purpose cardstock. So straight away, I've got enough. So I've got enough there. Yeah, more than enough to make my own card blank. So let's take, we do 5, let's start with 5 by 7. So let's take a couple of these pieces here. Let's bring in my guillotine. Now I don't think these are quite cut to size, or they're not straight anyway. So let me just make sure I've got my straight edge here. So that's well off. So let's, right, so that's now straight. So let's do 5 by 7. And we're going to do that again. So that's also not straight. So let's cut so we've got a nice 90 degree. And then 5 by 7. Then what I'm going to do, just while it's still in the guillotine, I'm going to score about 1/2 inch. Make sure that's straight. Let's score 1/2 inch. You can do it on your scoreboard, of course, but having a guillotine there, you can of course use the guillotine. Either, actually, yeah, let's use my tacky glue. So on that top hinge there, I'm going to go in with my tacky glue. And then let's bring in our next piece, and we're just going to line that up. And then we've created our own top full tent card, 5 by 7. So press that in. So if I open that up, we've then got, now the only thing you need to remember, if you do come to do an insert, then it's 5 inch by 6.5, because of course we've lost that 1/2 inch at the top there, but still on the front that gives you your full 5 by 7, and of course you can do that with any size card that you want. Let's bring in this piece here, and let's cut it to a specific size at the moment. So let's say, I'm probably going to make it smaller than this, but let's say 3.5 by 5.5 for now anyway. So let's, yeah, I might still make it smaller, but at least let's go in with our ink, and I'm going to pop that now. I am going to make it, well, actually I don't need to make it smaller, because, no I don't, because the bottom here, what I'm going to do is like a black strip. Now it's going to be a lot thinner than this, but just to give you the idea, so therefore I don't need to worry about the bottom. So although this isn't quite long enough or tall enough to fit that 5.5, it doesn't matter that I'm going to miss the bottom, because you're not going to see that anyway. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to keep it relatively straight. You can go on the wonk if you want to, or we can turn it that way, but I'm going to keep it like that. I'm also going to bring in my stencil tape. You know what I'm like when it comes to stencils, I don't really use our repositionable spray. I have been using it a lot more when it comes to something wet, as in glitter paste. Now I know our water reactive or our water-based ink pads are still technically wet. However, I only tend to use the repositionable sprays now when it comes to our glitter paste. So I'm just going to anchor that down there, like so. Now I am going to trim it a little bit smaller than, actually let's give ourselves a border. Let's change the look slightly and maybe keep it at 3.5. So let's section, because you can still section over a stencil. So that cardstock, remember, was 3.5 by 5.5. And then maybe I don't quite want that full. So what I'm going to do is visually, that white line at the end of the cardstock, I'm going to run as close to the centre of my stencil tape or masking tape. In case anyone wants to know what sticks to is, of course, you know, nothing will ever change there. So I'm going to do the same there. Then let's see how this is going to look. So I'm going to do the same along the top there. Now the bottom, do I still want, because we're going to have a bit of black, so do I still, I still want a frame within the middle. So this one, what I'm going to do, so the bottom of the stencil right down here, I'm going to align throughout the centre. There we go. Then let's take, now of course you can still use your blending tools. The blending tools are always my go-to, but with the Duet ink pads it is nice to use our finger daubers because you can really get in there. I'm going to take, I don't think I've got these colours, so let's take 2 new ones. And let's just go in and let's just start to pound. So I'm going to go in with Spring Bud. Remember, this is white smooth stamping card. It's not watercolour cardstock. Although you could use your watercolour cardstock, but I'm not planning on doing anything water-based technique-wise. So let's start to pounce. And I'm not really wanting a nice smooth layer. So if I've got any kind of unevenness, if I see any of the sponge marks underneath, I'm fine with. I don't mind. Plus, by pouncing with the finger daubers, what I'm going to do, where's my... No, what did I use the last time? I can't remember. No, what did I use the last time? Because the finger daubers, as good as they are, they hurt my finger. My finger's too big to actually put in. What did I use the last? Was it that? No, it wasn't that. I used something. I thought it was our water spritzer. Clearly it wasn't. Was it a sparkle pen? Nope. Was it a glitter pen? Nope. What was it? I used something on the end of it. For you at home that remember, you'll be shouting out at the screen. Oh my God, what was it? What was it that I used to put in the end there? I thought it was a water spritzer, but clearly it... Nope, definitely wasn't. Bear with, this is riveting tutorialness, isn't it? What's that? Nope. Okay, I will just need to carry on then. It'll come to me. It will come to me. Or you guys in the comments, you'll tell me. Was it a Sharpie pen? No, it wasn't a Sharpie. Was it a Sharpie pen? No, I don't think so. Oh my God, that's going to bug me now. That is going to bug the life out of me. Not being able to remember what that was. Anyway, you can still hold it and pounce like I'm doing now. So let's work our way. So as I was saying before I got distracted, I'm not bothered about seeing any of the sponge mark from the finger daubers or anything like that. What I'm just wanting to do is I want to get that colour down. And I just want to show, although this is just one element from the Wild at Heart, it is a nice way just to show that you can still take all the individual elements from Wild at Heart and you'll be able to use them in a non-Wild at Heart theme. So if you are going to blend any of that excess colour off the stencil, just be careful that you don't pick up any of the loose ends from the stencil. Oh, wrong one, Craig. Let's take that excess off. Although I'm away to go into the Awakening Forest in a moment. let's finish that one. Then let's go in with the Awakening Forest. And I'm just going to go round the edges. I'm just going to go round. Let's blend that in as well. So let's work our way in, and then we're just going to add that Awakening Forest round that outer edge. And do you know what I might do? I might still give it a spritz of water. Although it is our smooth multi-purpose card, or white card as we call it now, we can, as long as we're not oversaturating it, we can still go in and then, actually, do you know what I might do instead? Now, although embossing powder would stick to it, what I'm going to do, let's bring in, let's add, where is this clear? Nope, that's white, Craig. So let me just stand up a sec while I get my clear embossing powder. Nope, that's white. Oh, here we go. I've got my big tub. My big tub here will do. So yeah, so although the powder will still stick to the duet, what I'm going to do, just to really make sure that it really sticks to it, while that's in place, I'm just going to take another finger dauber, a clean finger dauber, and then I'm going to pounce over the top. I'm going to do it kind of in lines, only because I want to remember where I've put my translucent clear ink pad, otherwise I'm going to forget. So as I say, what's the powder will stick without the translucent clear, but let's just go in, add the translucent clear in as well over what we've done. What it will also do is it will also help to blend out. So although I am not bothered about having non-blended layers, if you still struggle with some not being quite blended to your liking, then your translucent clear will also help move the colours and blend the colours. So let's pounce that on, and then as we get to the bottom, let's go in and take that off. So let's move that out the way, and then the fun bit, I always like this bit when it comes to the reveal from stencils. I think it's always smart. So let's take, now I'm just going to discard these, but you can keep using them time and time again. And because we've sectioned this off on our 3.5 by 5.5 rectangle of white multi-purpose cardstock, we're going to have our nice border all the way round that we can see here. So let's take that off. I'll clean that stencil later. Let's put that there. And of course, because we've gone over with our translucent clear, let's go over with our clear embossing powder. So let's add that on. And that dulls it down a little bit, but then of course the magic comes when we heat it up. So therefore, let's take our heat gun. So if I bring my heat gun in, which I've got here, let's plug that in, And then what we can then also do, if I bring that into there, and then let's take, I'm hoping this shot is going to work. So if I then start at the top just here, and then work my way along. So as that melts, I'm going to go back up above because that has frozen, typical. So let's zoom in. So I'm going to start at the top, and as it melts, I'm going to travel along. So we're going to go direct, work, and we're just going to keep on going. So let's work our way up. So letting that melt. As soon as it melts, moving it along. You want to scorch your card. Keep on going. Work our way section by section. And I'm just going to give that a light once, going over. And then, oh, you see that sheen and that shine. If you want to blend a little bit more colour over the top, you could do, because of course that's going to resist that colour, but I'm not. I'm keeping it within that clean, that simplistic layer that we can see there. So then let's take our white cardstock. So I might actually, yeah, I do quite like just the border, top and sides, or I might just come down to the bottom, just into here. So do I want that, or do I want to come a little bit further up? Actually, I might come a little bit further up. So let's say, probably, if I say about 1 1/4 inches. Just want to have a look. Yeah. Yep. Going to do 1 1/4 inches. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it on, and then I'm going to trim around afterwards. So let me add my tape on. So add that. I'm going to layer that up. And then, what did I say? So let's go 1 1/4. And I'll just use my glass mat as a way to line up. Like so. And then let's take my scissors. Now obviously I didn't need that bit of tape at the bottom, it doesn't matter, we can just trim it off. Of course you could have cut the black panel to 1 1/4 by 3 1/2. Let's move that out the way just into there. I'm going to set that into the middle, and you know something, I think I'm going to trim. I'm going to do 4 1/2 by 6 1/2. Yeah, 4 1/2 by 6 1/2. In actual fact, I'm going to trim that a little bit more into here. Yeah. So that is now, so that cardstock is now 3 1/2 by 5 1/4. Let's take, where's that die? In actual fact, let's also have a look. You know what I'm like with Wasn't going to do a matting layer, but let me just see what that's going to be like. If it's 3.5, let's do, so between 3.5 and 3 3/4, and that's 5.25 I said, so let's go between 5.25 and 5.5. Like so. Yeah, see, I like that, but what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to take a slither of the side and the top to give me a very, very fine black matting layer. Now I'm still giving my black matting layer with my black base. It just gives me a really, really fine, yeah, definitely doing that. So let's take my tape now. And I'm going to just go in all the way around, or side to side. Let's matting layer that into position, just into here, like so. That can go there. While we're here as well, let's do our insert. So what did I say that was now? So that is now 4.5 by 6 inches. So it's 4.5 and 6 inches from base up till that fold line. So therefore, let's bring in our guillotine. So what did I say? So 4.5 by, did I say? I've lost it already. 6. So let's do, so let's do 5.5 by 4. Yeah. There we go. 5.5 by 4. So then let's do 3 3/4 by 5.25. Just trim that a little bit. Bring that in. I need to trim that just a little bit more. That's it. There we go. So let's move that out of the way. So let's do our insert as well. So let's just carry on with that theme with the inserts like I've been doing with the advent calendar. So even although I don't necessarily know at the moment who I'll be giving it to, at least the base of the insert is done. And then it just means all that I need to do is then come in and add my stamp sentiment, or add printed insert that I then just chop down, or one of our insert sheets that we've cut down. If you've not seen the advent calendar videos and you've noticed with my double-sided tape I've gone either side to side or all the way round, there's no reason as to why I do one or the other. I don't really think about it. I just either go all the way round or I go side to side. So then that can sit nicely into there. Press that down, hold that in. Just going to take another drink. Then we're going to come along. Again, that can sit into there. Let's come in with, let's try that one. Let's try that. Let's bring in our mini. Now, although there's embossed detail in this, I'm not going to emboss it. Kind of really only want the silhouette of the leaves, and even then I might not even use it. I might change my mind on another one. Actually, no. I think I will use that. Actually, I quite like that just in the set. I was going to do it off to the side, but I just like that in the middle. What I am going to do though is I'm just going to trim at the base so it can be flush. Yeah. Yep. Like that. I like it a lot. So let's put that away, and then let's take let's do with love. Let's see if it fits. What have I done with it? With that. Is that the one I just had in my hand here? With love. Right, let's see. Oh, it's just going to fit. That's perfect. Because obviously I don't want the full lot. I'm just wanting the actual with love. So therefore, let's take. Yep, that's going to be long enough. So as long as I've got that with love, I'm going to then take my folder and let's run that one through. Let's feed through and pop that one out as it jumps out. Let's do with love into there. Loving how this is looking. Loving it. So let's just use my tacky glue, and then we're just going to then sketch all the way round. If you're going to use your dotty tape runner, just be careful because it's very, very delicate. I'm going to tap some of that off, and I'm just going to then position that into place. Dab some of that excess off. Let's take my scissors and let's trim and trim. So there's our with love. Let's also take our leaves, and I'm going to keep this flat. You could shape these and put a thin foam pad or a bit of glue gel at the back, but I am going to keep this relatively flat. And then that we're just going to press into there like so, and let's hold that in, and I'm going to bring that into there, and let's take, I've got 1 mil thickness foam on a roll. So let's take that, and then let's take that. I'm just going to put these extra wee bits in there. And then this is giving us just that little bit of elevation, a little bit of height. Of course, it's not necessary if you don't want to, but it is only 1 mil in thickness. And that we're going to go and press into there. And let's take, where's my dewdrops? Let's take some dewdrops. Here we go. Let's take some of these. You've got your glossy highlights, of course you could use them, but seeing as I've still got some dewdrops left, let's use these. And then I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, and 1 down there. Let's do a medium one there. Actually, let's do medium, small, and then small. And then there we go. A nice way to use your scraps of cardstock. And then also our stencil from Wild at Heart. We've used our flourish die. No, we've not. We've used our foliage die from our flower forming. We've then used our With Love swash die, white multi-purpose. We've also used black cardstock. We've used embossing powder, clear embossing powder, translucent clear ink pad, and then we've also used Spring Bud and Awakening Forest from our duet, and then finished off with a couple of little dewdrops. So elements out with the Wild at Heart, but you wouldn't necessarily think that that has come from a Wild at Heart stencil collection. Let's bring that in a bit closer for you guys to see there. And then of course we have done our insert as well, just to finish off just nicely with that silhouette of the foliage in the middle there. And then there we go. Nice, really simple card, but a fun card. A little bit different for myself, but I like the way that that went there. As I said, nothing planned, nothing organised, a little idea within my head, and then we've just filmed with it and we've just run with it. So hopefully that you guys like that one. Have a lovely New Year's Eve. Have a lovely time, whatever you're getting up to, whether of course it's party time, whether of course it's quiet time, or of course maybe it's just a time that you're just going to sit, you're going to relax, and then you're going to reflect as well on the year. But either way, have a lovely time, and we will see you in 2024 for a brand new year. Thank you so much for all the subscribers, for all the following here on my Crafter's Companion YouTube channel. Lots more to come within the new year. So take care, have a good day, have a good night, and we'll see you again in 2024. Bye.